My grandmother always taught us about the land, taught us about what it meant to her, not really in a matter of teaching, but in a matter of just telling you a story about what happened to her people, how they were pushed off their land and basically just waiting for everybody to disappear so they could turn the place into a state park. She always taught us, don't ever let that happen. She wanted everybody to come back to the reservation. After she passed away, we started doing that. We know we had to reach out and get everybody and bring everybody back. Everybody that belonged here.
I started on the first day that we opened.
I started in the bingo hall as a waitress.
I've actually been here 20 years.
February 12th of 1992.
And I've been here for 20 years.
It was before Foxwoods opened for business and before it even had a name.
In '85 or so, the tribal leaders here thought, why don't we try bingo? Attorney General of the state of Connecticut said, absolutely not. You know, we're going to stop you and you have no case. Court ruled in our favor right down the line.
We hired an architect to design for us a building. It was a 24,000 square foot building.
Well, I was here working the bingo hall. We drove around in this old Oldsmobile. There was maybe about 10 of us security officers. We had lots of buses that would come in for the bingo, walk them into the bingo hall. We did everything.
One of the older ladies, she was probably in her 80s, she told me, she's like, I'm so cold, you know, can they turn the heat up? And Joey Carter, one of the tribal members, I went back and I said, can we turn the heat up? He went out and gave the lady his jacket to put on. I was impressed. I was like, they really care about, you know, about these people.
The bingo operation headed by Mike Holder, who headed it since 1986. It's always been and still is one of the most successful bingo operations and gave the tribe the wherewithal to you know, have some income stream.
If we can do bingo, then why can't we do other types of gaming that the state might allow? So we brought a suit in the federal court, and the federal courts ruled for the tribe and said the tribe's correct. It was 221 days later that Foxwoods opened. In other words, that construction took place that quickly.
I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And then all of a sudden there was a bell that rang and the doors opened and it was just a mass of people.
And as new dealers, we're trained to deal $5, $10 games. Well, I got to the table and the people were betting 50, 100, 150, and the sweat started pouring down me. I was so nervous.
We scheduled a 16-hour day, close for 8 hours, give everybody a break and send them home to rest up, etc. And there were 2,000 people in the facility gaming at 1:30 in the morning, and the decision was made with Mickey and Al, myself, and I think the chairman of the tribe, Skip Hayward, was there, and he said, why close?
I asked them when we first started to print up bumper stickers to follow us to Foxwoods, because people didn't know where we were, but they sure as hell found us. They sure did.
Plans for Phase 2, which is the Great Cedar facility, started almost immediately.
And Skip Hayward approached the governor and said, Governor, we'll make a deal with you. If the state permits us to have slot machines, we'll give you 25% of the revenue. And the governor said, wow, that's real money. That's a deal. And we made that deal. And that first year, it came out about $110 million was the state share of the slot revenue. I remember that took an astonishing amount of, I think, faith and confidence, courage, and he was right.
Native tradition culture, it was always important that you understood everybody had a value, everything had a value. Their individual efforts can help not just themselves, but everybody that they work with, that they live with, their family on a regular basis.
When Foxwoods first opened, okay, the economy was very difficult at that time in 1992. If Foxwoods wasn't here, I would have had to move out of the state of Connecticut and take my family out to Colorado. Foxwoods opened and allowed me, personally, and my family to stay here. And I felt all these years that I owed them that they allowed me and my family to stay in Connecticut together with my parents and everybody. And that's why I've been here for 20 years, to pay them back for that gratitude.
I think about my father, he's 86, and how he and his sisters and his mom had to move to Westerly because there was no work here. And I think how now his children and grandchildren have been able to come back, and that he's lived long enough to see that circle completed. And I think that's the true success of the Foxwoods story, is that we're here, we've always been here, and we look forward to being here.